hello, and welcome to the show. It's me, John Park, and this is JP's product pick of the week. We have all arrived here together for this moment, so thank you all so much for being part of it. Where are we? What's going on? Well, we've got our chats up and running, so if you want to head over to either the YouTube chat, hello to peoples in there. Hi, Jeff Hunt, and hello, Dave Odessa. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Tackle the World. Got your snack, got your drink. So excellent. And then we've got our Discord chat. So if you're somewhere that doesn't appear to have a chat active, perhaps one of our, whoa, why is that alive? Oh, let me move that window, sorry. There, phew, okay. If you're somewhere such as Twitch or LinkedIn or some other place that we're broadcasting and you don't see anyone chatting, what do? Well, head over to this place right here, which is our Discord. That's it. You can get there by going to adafruit.it/Discord. And then just look for the live broadcast chat channel there. Hello, C. Grover. Hey, Mouse, who's publishing the design for the latest synth module right now. That's exciting. Very cool. Congrats. Blitz City DIY. Hello, Liz. Hello, Thin Man. Welcome. And thank you all for popping in. So, what do we have here? We've got the product pick, which is right there. If you want to go check it out, before I even say word one about it, then go there. This show is broadcast from inside of there through the miracle of picture-in-picture technology. You can watch the show and be on the product page. And we have a huge discount. It is half off for a very, very cool product pick this week, I think, and amazing to get all of this technology for this great price, half off. So head there. We stashed 100 of them before the show. It looks like we've already sold about 30 or so of them. We have about 70 in stock. No coupon code is necessary, so you can just go there, throw it in your cart, and buy them before the show is over or before they sell out. There are no rain checks here, so get them while they're hot, and then the price will go back up at the end of the show. So, as is customary, before I say what this is, I'm going to let Lady Ada jump back just a little bit in time and tell you herself. So take it away, Lady Ada.
When are you going to get the LoRa version? This is a Feather RP2040 with a LoRa 900 megahertz module that you can use to run a LoRaWAN stack, or just LoRa, which is its own protocol. You don't need to run LoRaWAN, which is a type of software stack that runs on LoRa. 900 megahertz means you can tune it down to 868 or up to 915, and then just pick the right antenna, and you're going to still get about 20 dBm output. You have all the Feather pins that you expect, 4 analog pins, I think like 20 total GPIO. STEMMA QT on the end there, you can plug in sensors, OLEDs, whatever, NeoPixels, 8 megabytes of flash, that nice RP2040 core, which will work great with MicroPython, CircuitPython, or Arduino, UFL antenna, and the FCC IC certified SX1276 based Semtech LoRa module.
Yes, indeed, that is it right there. Look, that's the product pick of the week this week. It is the Feather RP2040 RFM95 LoRa Adafruit. So, what a great board. This is the Feather RP2040 at its core. So you get the battery charging and the LiPo support there, bazillion GPIO pins, analog digital, PIO, dual Cortex M0 cores running at, I think, 133 megahertz. But you've also got right on top of there that little package that you see at the end there, and I'll go to the down shooter here so you can see it a little better. We have, is that in focus? Not at all. Let me fix that focus and that exposure. We look good there, and how about a little brighter? Ooh, wrong way. There we go. So you can see right here, this is the little module that gives us the radio, the RFM95 LoRa module there. and that is connected over SPI to the rest of the board there. And you can use Adafruit and CircuitPython. You can use drivers in Arduino, and these make for amazing packet radio transceivers. So it can send, it can receive. You can solder on a little quarter wave or half wave whip antenna with just a piece of wire, or you can use this little pigtail coil here to get nice and compact and simple. Or we have a little connector there that allows you to use a more robust antenna. Depending on the type of antenna and tuning that you do, you can get anywhere from a mile to up to 10 miles, and maybe even beyond with dedicated directional antennas and tuning of your power settings. But this makes for low data, so you're not going to send video or music over this, but you can send messages, you can send commands to other pieces of equipment, you can send text message style messaging very effectively. And without all of the problems that you have with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. It's low power, and you've got, like I say, line of sight easily a mile. With this setup very here, I was able to set one module in my backyard and walk across the street, so we had houses and garages and cars and things in between, and still send no problem, a couple hundred feet. Easy to do with this, so really great for robust messaging types of situations. So let's talk about some specifics here. First of all, I'm going to go to the web page right there, so you can see right now we've got it for half off. Instead of $29.95, it's $14.98 right now. One question that I saw in the chat, hey DK says, what's the difference between RFM 95 and 69? So the RFM, there are probably differences I don't know about, but the key one being RFM 95 is the LoRa module, so it uses the LoRa stack and the LoRa WAN stack, which are software libraries imposed over top of the module. The RFM 69 is similar, but is not the LoRa branded stuff. So you can do similar things with them, but there are probably some other specific differences that people can call out. This particular module is really made for North America and anywhere else that uses the roughly 900 megahertz band. In some parts of the world, you'll want to use a different one that I don't think we have a module for on this particular feather yet, which are more in the 400 megahertz. But this can be tuned down to, I think it's 868 megahertz up to 915 megahertz in software, so you just specify. And then you'll tune the transmitter and any receivers that you're using to be on that same specific frequency. So this is considered the ISM, Industrial Scientific Medical Band, and it's designed for using for signaling, sensors, things like that. We've got 8 megs of flash on there, 133 megahertz RP2040 chip, 264K of RAM. And then this is the SX127X LoRa module with the SPI interface that allows you to use that. So let's see, I'm gonna, valid in the UK too, Tyeth says. Thank you, Tyeth. Yeah, I should say double check before you use this, because certain frequencies are gonna be appropriate for your region. This is usually broken down by region, so double check that it's a legal band to use for your needs without licensing in your region. So if you scroll down a bit, you'll see we've got a link here to a Learn Guide as well as a project guide. Here is the main Learn Guide, and you can see a nice photo of it there. Some basic info. We have the pinouts there. There on the back, you can see it's got the stats on it for the frequency that it's at. You can also use this nice little white area to Sharpie in a node ID if you're deploying a bunch of these and want to keep them straight. It's a nice way to do it. I've got a nice pinout chart there, and then a breakdown, full breakdown of all the pins. So you can do all the usual things that you like to do, including we've got a STEMMA QT header right there, so you can attach sensors and inputs and other add-ons to it, which is really helpful. And then if you take a look at our antenna options here, you can see there's a UFL connector breakout or adapter that we have, and it's actually, the connector is already soldered onto the board right there, so all you do is get this little adapter and an antenna, click it on, screw it in, and you're ready to go. or you can measure out a 3-inch section for 915 megahertz, a 3.25-inch section for 868, or a 6.5-inch section for 433 megahertz, and then solder that to the little antenna spot. Or you can do what I did here, which is buy our little pigtail antenna that's similar performance, I think, to the little whip there. You do not need to solder on the UFL connector. It's actually pre-installed on this one. This photo is from a previous board where it was not soldered. And then we have some info here about setting up Python with a nice example sketch in the CircuitPython Essentials, I believe, this RFM95 radio demo. And this works best with a couple of these. So if you can see it right back there, let me do a little bit of a demo here. So let me go to just this view. Okay, so I'm going to take my Feather RP2040 with the LoRa radio on it. I just plugged in a little battery. It lit up. And I'm going to use the user button on here. The boot button can be used as a user button. And you'll see right there I have a little LED that's going to change colors each time I press this button. Let me turn off the overhead light. That'll make it a little more visible back there. I didn't set the brightness very high because I was... There we go. See that a little bit better there. Yeah, so you can see right behind me on top of that TV there, there's a little NeoPixel ring and an equivalent set to this. And every time I click this button, I'm just cycling through some colors. Let me bring that over here so you can see that set up. So I've got a LiPo battery plugged into LiPo battery plugged in and a little NeoPixel ring plugged in, and the antennas on both of them. They're tuned to the same frequency, and it's very simple to just send a message that tells this code over here to go and switch around the cycle through the colors there. So let me set this here. It'll be a little easier to see. There we go. So every click of that button, I'm cycling through the colors. Let's take a look at what that code looks like. So we've got similar code running on the sending and the receiving board here. So we'll take a look at the sender first. So key thing here is import the Adafruit RFM9X library. And then I'm setting that frequency here, 915. Setting up the chip select and data pins for SPI, which is how this is configured, and then instantiating an RFM95 object here, which is Adafruit RFM95, RFM9X, I should say, RFM9X set up on board SPI with these pins and at this frequency. So you could tune that frequency to anything that is within the acceptable band that you're using. And then we have a little setup for the onboard NeoPixel, so I can see that just to tell that this is powered on. Each time I press the button, I'm just doing RFM send, and then the bytes of button and UTF-8 is the encoding of that. When I am receiving on the other side here, I've got a little bit of extra NeoPixel setup there, some colors to cycle through, same frequency there, set up for SPI of the board, and then I wait for packets. So in the main loop, packet equals RFM95 receive, and then if there is a packet, we are setting the byte right there to button and setting the color index to the next one inside of that list there. So if the packet is something else, we're going to ignore it, which means you could have multiple different messages coming in. For this simple example, we're just sending, if the word button comes through, then we know that we can change that color around. So very easy to use, and you can go check out code examples in that RFM9X library to see other things that you can do with it. But really good for little simple messaging systems, remote controls. I've used these either RFM69 or RFM95 radios for magic tricks, illusions, escape rooms, places where Bluetooth just isn't going to handle it, where Wi-Fi is overkill. So this is nice, simple, low cost, low power, And in the case of this one today, it's actually super low cost. So you can get them right now. We still have 47 of them in stock. So run, don't walk, over to your friendly Adafruit.com store webpage and throw a couple in your cart. You can use multiple of them. So depending on the library you're using, you can send from one to many, or you can send from one to specific individual ones. So there's a lot of possibilities for sort of multi-node setups inside of the Bluefruit, or rather the RadioFruit library there. This is good. Thank you for bringing this up. I want to talk about this over in the Discord. Miltiel V2 said, with the acceptance of my PR, this board also is supported by Meshtastic, which is really cool. So Meshtastic is a open source firmware for using LoRa radio for messaging, and it supports repeaters, a bunch of geolocation data. I've used another board with Meshtastic, not this one in particular, but now it's a possibility, to do some neat stuff like pair your phone with one of these, send text messages from your phone to the LoRa radio, which then leapfrogs across the nation to wherever, and then repeats in the other direction. So you can use remote location messaging where your phone isn't going to have a signal, but your LoRa radios are great, either for line of sight or for piggybacking across the Meshtastic network. So thanks for your contribution to that, as well as for reminding me. Whoops, let me bring this up here. So go check that out if you haven't before. It's a really robust project, and very cool that this board will be useful for this. You can see in my example here, I have one of these nice little quad feather wings, which you could use to put an OLED display or a TFT display, as well as other feather wings on there, so that you can use Meshtastic and have some text support there. Very cool, thank you. Let's see. OG Thinkster says, I use ISM band radios all the time with Yago antennas, so I imagine you could do the same with these for good distance. Is that Yagi antennas? Yeah, I believe you can. I believe you can do like really long range. If you look it up, and I think we have some links even on the main page, look at some of the distances people get with their specific antenna setups. It's really cool. Okay, let's see. Am I forgetting anything? This is a nice little look right here. I'm going to see if I can, yeah, you can see back of the board, front of the board there, USB-C, all of the modern conveniences, but now RP2040 Feather with the LoRa radio module on there. Right, so I think, unless there's any other info, thoughts, questions, we can wrap this up. All right, let's do this. Can I click this one? Let's get this one ready. That right there is my product pick of the week this week. It is the Feather RP2040 RFM95 LoRa RadioFruit. For Adafruit Industries, I'm John Park. This has been JP's product pick of the week. Bye, everyone.